Hi everyone, welcome to our little presentation on our music classes. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the really basic things you need to know before signing up for lessons. So who is Ms. Kelsey? Who am I? I am a private music teacher. I have a degree in music from Columbia College Chicago. I have a few diplomas from Conservatory here in Luxembourg. And I'm also a certified music educator, CME, with the Associated Board of Royal Schools in Music, otherwise known as ABRSM. Right now, I'm also working on doing my Suzuki teacher training, which is fabulous. And more important, maybe, I'm a big Harry Potter fan and I love vegan ramen. So just a quick overview of what I teach. I mostly do piano, but also singing, solfège, and music theory. So I use a variety of teaching methods, but of course, I am very open-minded to different kinds of curriculum. And if you need something really special for yourself or your young student, then we can absolutely adapt for everyone. So my very favorite and first Suzuki method that I use is the Suzuki method. So this method really focuses on a lot of listening, repetition, and it uses a lot of classical repertoire. And this method requires a very high parent involvement, ideally every lesson. And so this method is very good for the youngest of beginners. So if we have 3-4-year-olds, that's really excellent for them. It makes a lot of sense for them. Even up to 8 years old, you can start with this method and it's great. So the second method I use is the ABRSM method. So ABRSM is very well-rounded. We have a repertoire book, we have a sight reading book, and a scales book, and even some music theory work books we can work with. So this is nice if you kind of want like a full, well-rounded music curriculum. However, it's a bit too much for the really young ones. So this is more for older, more independent learners, maybe between teenage years. This is good too because they also get a lot of choice in this system, which is nice. And also this is kind of a medium parent involvement. Of course, we always need help and motivation and audience members for our performances or little practice performances. So we do need some parent involvement in this one as well, but not as much hand-holding as Suzuki. The third one I have is a conservatory method. So this method, really basically this method takes apart music intellectually, academically, and then puts it back together. So it's a lot of solfège and singing and music theory and very much a classical repertoire. So this is a great method if you are interested in applying for conservatory or if you're already there. So conservatory with your solfège around year 3 can get pretty intensive. So we can have our lessons be sort of supplementary to conservatory or just helping out with the homework from conservatory, like tutoring. And also I would say a conservatory way is pretty high parent involvement. Of course, though, that can be supplemented with some of our classes. Okay, so what is my teaching philosophy? So I have a growth mindset in my teaching philosophy. I believe all children and anyone can be fine musicians. It's all about your decision to commit to the process and also learning how to create time and space in your life in order to do that. And as much as I am so ambitious for all of my students to be excellent, great musicians, my true guiding light, my North Star in my teaching is to help our musicians create beautiful, kind hearts. I'm looking to help my students have a lot of compassion for themselves, especially when we make mistakes, and having empathy for others when they make mistakes as well. And strong minds. I am really interested in how music can help us grow and develop our minds. So I'm also really emphasizing that in my lessons. And of course, leading by example. So I try not to ask my students anything that I haven't done myself or I wouldn't do myself. And I try to be the example of a good musician, of a good student, a good academic. So logistics, where do we have the lessons? So I have 3 locations where lessons happen, mostly at the international school. So Monday through Friday, I'm teaching at ISL in the Lower School Music Center. So to have your lessons there, you have to have a student who is going to the school, or you have to be at the school yourself, like a teacher at the school, or affiliated in some other way. You just have to be officially connected with ISL community to have lessons there. And then on Saturdays, I have lessons at my family home in our little studio in Sens, Luxembourg. So we have that available as well. And then our 3rd location, every once in a while, stars align for us and we happen to be neighbors, or we're close by, or you're close to another student that I'm going to be working with. So every once in a while we can organize where I come to your house. So that's another sometimes option. Okay, and now I have some lesson contracts, some contracts that just help us set the expectations for lessons, how we're going to run lessons, and what you can expect of me and what I'm expecting of you as well. So we have 2 sessions, one from September to December and another from January to June. So in order to book your time slot, you will make a payment for all the lessons of that session in the beginning, and you'll see that in our booking system that we have. I really ask, especially if you're a new family, please try to commit for the entire year. That way you get the full experience of being dedicated to an instrument. There will always be little blips where it gets really hard to find the motivation, but sometimes when you work through those little parts, it's really magical and you really find the value. So try to commit for the full year to try it. And if you really must cancel the 2nd session, something happens, you have to move away, please tell me before December 1st. Otherwise, you will be charged half the tuition of that session. The reason for that is, even though I have a big waiting list, sometimes without enough notice in the beginning, it's just too difficult for me to try and organize with another family to rearrange their schedule. So in some cases, people have been on the waiting list for years and they have already committed to other activities in the 2nd session. So it's just impossible to reorganize. So please cancel before December 1st if you must. And also, please be on time. Anything over 10 minutes late is considered canceled. And if you need to cancel your lesson, please cancel 48 hours in advance. Otherwise, I won't be able to give you a makeup lesson. I do take pictures and videos of the kids to share with the other students and teachers and on social platforms. So please take a look at the media consent form and just make sure that everything is in order there. And if you have any special requests, like you would not like the faces of your students to be taken, things like that, please just let me know. We can be flexible about that. And please try to come to all or as many lessons as you can as a parent. I love to have parents involved in the party, and it also shows your student that you are involved and interested in this. And it's a lot of fun too to have people in our lessons. Also, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, cousins, brothers, if you want to bring people to observe lesson, that's always fun. So how do you sign up? So you can go to my website, and on my website, you can click on info, and then in the info section on the left bottom side, you will see a little word that says terms, and you can click on terms, and there you'll be able to download all of the contracts. So you can download those contracts, sign them, and email them back to me. And then once you've done that, I will activate your family account. And then you can create your password, add your students, and book your time slot. And so hopefully there's a time slot that works for you. But like I mentioned before, sometimes it really is difficult to manage the schedule. So I will also let you know for the next semester or the next year if those spots open up, and you'll be able to book there. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was really helpful, and I look forward to talking with all of you. Please, if you have any questions, just let me know, reach out. Happy to talk to you at any time. Thank you. Bye-bye.